Okay, hello. My name's Joel, and I got a little app here that is specifically for Dungeon Masters, running even more specifically, Adventures League games. So the first thing that I should talk about is what the hell does this app do? Well, what this app does is think about when you're running your game and everything's flowing really well, everybody's having a good time, the role play is going great, and then all of a sudden the DM has to say, everybody get new initiative, and then the action stops. DM has to fumble with his dice for his like 6 or 7 creatures. Every player has to roll their dice, and then you have to do a bunch of math. And then only after doing all that bunch of cross communication, that's completely broken the flow of the game, can you even arrange your tent cards on your DM screen to get the battle going. I don't really like that process. I find it kind of frustrating and irritating. What I like to do is I like to just press a single button and then I go straight to my 10 cards and arrange them from there. And that is exactly what this app does. So let's kind of go over it and start here. First thing you'll notice is that it's rollinit.joelgonzaga.com. Really easy to remember, I hope. And then when you first get to it, you will get to a sign-in screen, and you can sign in with the Google and only the Google at this time. But maybe at some point in the future that might change. But let's sign in with the Google first. All right, I'm in. Okay, so the basics of this little app here, which will pull up just like this on your smartphone or your tablet or whatever it is you're going to use, is you first got, your menu up here, and the menu up here has kind of everything you need. If you're already bored listening to my voice, just click the help button, and that will explain everything for you. But to continue on, the best way that you would use this app is, well, you just kind of do two things. You have your players and your encounters. So starting with the encounters, as you can see, I already have a couple things here. I'm going to trash them just for demonstration purposes. And we just kind of have to start with our first encounter. Name your encounter, and we'll call it Vampire Fight for now. I can't save the encounter yet because I haven't added a single NPC to it. It'd be pretty boring and pointless to go into initiative in an empty room. So let's add a vampire. So vampire. We'll say the initiative modifier for a vampire is 2. I don't actually check in the monsters manual. That's not important today. I'm not doing that. Optionally, I can put the vampire's armor if I want to. And then the default initiative method for rolling. This vampire is not exhausted. He's just going to get normal initiative. Done. Just finding one vampire by itself is pretty boring. So let's add a swarm of bats. And bats are very fast. And then I'll just go ahead and press done. Now, I could add multiple swarms of bats. I could just add another NPC here and swarm of bats and swarm of bats. But that might actually be boring. So if you want to duplicate a monster that you've created already, just click the copy button. And I now have 2 swarms of bats. Of course, when you bring them to your table, you're going to need a way to differentiate between one swarm of bats and the other. And that's where this is a little open-ended. I've seen some DMs have colored discs. Some DMs have standees with numbers. Some DMs just use letters. I personally, on my minis at a table, I actually color code everything. So if this was me, I might call this the blue swarm of bats. And then maybe this is the swarm of bats that's color coded yellow. And I am done. All right, so at this point, after I've added at least one monster, but in this case I've added 3, I can save the encounter. And there's my vampire fight. There's my first encounter that I've added. Now, you just repeat that process for every encounter that you plan to run in the game, and you're just about ready. Of course, on game day, you have to have some players. I have some players added here, but let's go ahead and add them again from scratch. Let's see. Let's say I'm playing with somebody named Carl, and Carl is playing Uptight the Paladin. Uptight the Paladin has too much armor, so he's going to go with -1 initiative. The rest of this information is optional if it doesn't have an asterisk next to it. And then I'll just go ahead and add that character. There's Uptight the Paladin. Okay, let's add another character. The next player that's come in is, let's say, Yolanda. And she's playing Sylvia the Warlock. Sylvia the Warlock has a initiative of 2 just for fun. I'll fill out passive perception and give her 10 for armor. And go ahead and save Sylvia the Warlock. And then one more person. We'll add Barney, and Barney is playing Geralt the Bard. Geralt the Bard has an initiative of 0 and a passive perception of 14, an armor of 12, and there we have it. All right, so if you've noticed, I do still have this dice icon here. Well, the dice icon is where I can change the method that these characters are going to roll at. Let's say that Uptight the Paladin got so uptight that he also got sick and 1 level of exhaustion. So he's going to be rolling his initiative with disadvantage now. Let's say Geralt the Bard is somehow has some kind of lucky magical equipment, and he is going to roll his initiative with advantage. So I can change this at any point in the game. I just open up this window and I just click that button and change it as the game progresses. If I wanted to edit it manually, I could also do that here, but I don't need to edit it there. I can just click that button. So as you're playing the game, you can go back to encounters. You find your encounter the vampire fight, and then literally this is all you do to get into initiative. There they are. I have my initiative order, and I can arrange my 10 cards straight from here. Geralt the Bard, no surprise, he got the best initiative because he rolled twice. And then Uptight the Paladin just did not roll very well. The numbers to the right of the decimal point are pre-rolled, and they're just for tiebreakers in case we have some double numbers. We didn't get any double numbers here, but those are additional, just math to make sure that there are no ties. Or so they're preemptively broken. If for some reason I needed to re-roll initiative, I could do that from this screen too, though. So let's say I'm going to give Swarm of Bats another roll. I click this, I'll do a normal re-roll, and it has been re-rolled, and if it had been a different position, all this would have been automatically organized. Let's say this vampire is just very fast, and I'll give him an advantage re-roll. Oh, and now you see that this has resorted itself, and now the vampires up at the top. So do whatever you want with that. Advantage and disadvantages are available to you. So from there, you have your encounter, you arrange your 10 cards, and you go straight to combat. And that's it. So one final thing about this app is it is free to use, and it is not free to host. So if anybody likes this app and you are interested in supporting it, of course, just click this menu and then click the support button. And then that will take you to the point where you can make a one-time or regular donation just to keep this app up and running. If I get enough donations, I'll probably consider taking some input from people and start adding additional features to this app if people are super interested in it. And for now, it's done. So I hope that you enjoy the app and have fun with it.